Let's do some Top That Trade with our top players, Flynn, a Fox Business Network news contributor, and Alan Knuckman, the chief market strategist at bullseyeoption.com. Here we go with a few rounds. Round number one, energetic gold. The energy ETF XLE is up and the gold miner ETF is way up. What's a better buy?
Well, it was a long, long time ago. It was 2022. Nobody wanted gold. Nobody wanted the gold miners. They had a really low PE. You also saw what I look for, bullish divergence in the fact that gold had made new lows down almost near $1,000. And the market didn't, the volatility didn't make new highs. So that was a very positive sign. And guess what? Gold has tripled since then. You're seeing the same thing in energy. If you look at XLE, and I'm really focused right now on UNG, which is natural gas. Natural gas has dropped from 24 all the way to 12 and now has made a nice bullish divergence bottom. It's about psychology, and nobody is paying attention to energy or natural gas.
Oh, they're paying attention, but it bored them to death. Yeah, they were paying attention, but it was boring them to death, right? And everything else seemed to be shinier, like gold and metals and everything else. But we have a sector, I think, right now that is so out of touch with reality, in the most undervalued sector we've seen probably since COVID. I mean, if you look at global demand expectations, they are rising. And I'm not just talking about oil and gas. I'm talking about artificial intelligence, data centers. All of these things are driving these markets. And natural gas, of course, I believe is going to be the most important fuel. U.S. natural gas demand is going to hit a record high this year. We're going to export more natural gas than we ever had before, and we're going to use more to power these data centers. I like Comstock Resources as a play, but I like the entire sector right now.
Round number two, holler at $50. High hole silver away. Silver is closing in on $50 per ounce. What's next for the silver lining?
In some ways, silver is still underperforming gold, and we had a beautiful spike. Yes. We're getting to the point where we're seeing a lot of volatility in this market, but that's not unusual in a raging bull market. We're going to have big tops and big drops. And this is a good opportunity to, try to go buy gold and silver when it looks horrible, because that's going to be the best time to buy it. And of course, we had a pretty big correction, on our quest to 50, but I do think that $50 is in the cards. But in the meantime, look for those big sell-offs, start buying those ETFs and those metal bars on the pullbacks.
Well, I'm an old commodities guy, not as old commodities guy as Phil, but I know that silver can be dangerous in the fact that there can be profit-taking pullbacks of like 10%, 15% at any time. So that's why I trade options, number one. But if you look at silver, we got to this $49, almost $50 level back in the 80s, and then back here in 2011. So it's a double top at 50. And if you project that big V recovery, $80 is just beginning. Silver can move parabolically once we start getting a little euphoria. And I think a breakout above 50 was going to get headlines everywhere.
Round three, fall back. Colors are changing on leaves. What about colors in the stock market? Do you think the market will go from green to red for a fall?
Well, that's a very difficult call to make, but obviously the trend is there. No matter what happens in the marketplace, we continue to go up. We've rallied 40% in the S&P, 50% in the NASDAQ, but we've got earnings coming out, we've got the dollar declining, and we've got rates coming down. So those are all positive headwinds. So we'll look to see, but now this is the best quarter of the year. We used to be scared of October, but not anymore if you look at the performance in the last few years.
If you really want to look at where the stock market is, go back to watching this show back in April when everybody was doom and gloom selling the stock market. Both Al and I were saying, hey, this is a buying opportunity. And, we talked about that V bottom back in April that I said, this could mean that the stock market could double, more than double. And people looked at me and said, I'm crazy. They were right about me being crazy, but I'm also going to be right about the stock market doubling from those April lows.
You didn't hear me. I didn't say that out loud. And 7,500 is just the basic V recovery of that April drop on that old top. So we still have some ways to go.
Sticking with that theme, the stock market is on fire. So in our bonus round question for today, can you spot the fake ticker? Is it FOMO, FOMOAI, or Rally?
Rally, because I've traded the other two.
And that is how that is done. You are both correct. Winner, winner, chicken dinners on the house. Great job, Business First AM. We'll be right back.